Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Siren Frost, and this week we have actually two new deck profiles for you guys. One you can say it's a bit of an update video one, but in this video we're gonna be featuring a new ride line that came out in the set 12 collection. And this one is the Evil Eye Dragon Omniagruzio mask deck profile video. Now I did have a little bit more fun with this deck than I did with Almagestar, just because I guess apparently Dark State's more my thing, and I guess why. The owner of this deck is Halona Walker of Team Uniformers. And quick little backstory on her is that Halona Walker is 12 years old, I believe, and she is the close and best friend of Aurora Hanayama. And they both became Uniformers together. Well, she was the first one who joined. And for what Gi and Jingi Mukai was mentioning in the anime is that she is the true progeny poster child of Team Uniformers, of the Uniformers. So she's this sweet, allegedly sweet girl who's 12 years old, has do the program very well. She's a big devotee of the Uniformers as well. But as the season progressed in her videos, she is apparently allegedly one of the most strongest Uniformers in the organization. Which, granted, okay, that's cool. But ever since Aurora left the Uniformers and went back to Team Blackout, she really started to show kind of her true colors a little bit. And, she seemed like you betrayed her. So she has this inferiority complex or abandonment issue she had before. Because growing up, she mentioned in the videos she didn't have, or in the anime, she did not have many friends. She, when she is the strongest fighter, some people get very jealous of her and all that stuff. But I think it's how she was called out by Aurora in the final fight between her and Aurora. Is that, quote unquote, she is the most selfish, most stubborn, arrogant human being, at times. And she's got to stop belittling people who are, shorter than her, pretty much. Or below her, so. And then she and Aurora got into a big of a cat fight, so I thought it was a little bit more funny. But this deck right here is a reflection to her character deck profile video. And to be frank with you, this deck scares the hell out of even me sometimes, because it does require you to use Mask of Hydrogram full scale. This deck does not include any of the Hydrogram units like Dragon Tree Wretch, Skullcan does. We're not using them. We're not even using Demon Shrider. We're using only the Mask of Hydrogram in the deck. But this deck also is more scary than you think, because it allows you to take a trigger from your soul or and drop and bind it. And depending on that trigger right there, you cannot gain power. You can still get the effect, I believe. You can still get the effect on the trigger icon. You just lose this 5,000 to the shield. So the Evil Eye is what I consider to be a cursed spell that any witch or warlock can do, and this is a reflection to curses. Slowly killing your opponent is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Now, without any further ado, let's hop right into the video. So, first off, we're going to start with this little fella here I think it's so cute. Evil Eye Beast Omniakitty. And I thought it's a very cute cat. I'm a sucker for black cats in general, because they're a symbol of good fortune. I know some people don't like them because they're considered bad luck, but that's for only normal folks. For us mythical people, or I call secretly, quote unquote, the important ones, black cats are very, very good to have. So next one we have is Evil Eye Beast Omniacrowg. I don't know why they added G on this one, but it says Crow. Its active skill is a 1-turn Soul Blast 1 of the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to one grade 3 or greater card with Omniagruzio in its card name from among them, reveal it and put it into the hand, and shuffle your deck. If you did not reveal a card, soul charge 2. So this will actually set up a lot of things like the soul, which I'm guessing that some of these cards require the soul more as well, so that's not surprising. The next one we have is Evil Eye Beast Omniaowls, and its skill is, when this unit is placed by writing from Evil Eye Beast Omniacrowg, search your deck for up to one trigger unit, put it into soul, and shuffle the deck. If you put a card into soul, draw a card. So, it kind of has the same ability as similar effect to, let me think for a second here. It's kind of the same one as Schwartz Sparta, the grade 1 for Alma Jetstar. When it's ruled upon by Tyrannodino, then you get to soul charge 2 cards. And if you get a critical trigger, you draw a card. So in this case, you don't just get a critical, you also just get any damn trigger you damn well please. Alright. The last final card is the boss one itself, is Evil Eye Dragon Omniagruzio. Now this skill is, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to one card with Omniagruzio in its card name, or up to one Mask of Hydrogram from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. Now, here's the 1 turn active skill is. It's an active 1 turn, but it requires a Soul Blast 1, which, fitting. Choose up to one trigger unit from your drop, bind it, and to the end of the turn, your opponent cannot increase power with trigger effects of cards with the same trigger icon as the card in your bind zone. So, for example, if your opponent just so happens to get a heal trigger, he or she can still get the effect of the heal trigger, just not the power boost from it. So that will immobilize your chance of gaining more power. So you have to guard really severe when it comes to Omniagruzio. So yeah, that is a confirmed ride line, and I'm choosing the Donji pink ride deck sleeves for this one because she seemed like the girly kind of type, and she does seem like she was raised with manners. So I think she's kind of like more ladylike, with a little bit of psycho attitude, if you can say that, if you can call it that, honey. Alright, so the next one is the same trigger lineup, same build, same amount, but this shouldn't be much of a problem. I'll explain why I chose some units for this one, okay? So, for heal triggers, we're playing 2 Caper Companions. Now, you get these from the Draw Jewel trial deck, but I just don't see Michiru actually playing this card, even though it is part of his character deck profile, but I see her, or, no, actually, I can actually see her playing this, because it's a reflection of her happy childhood, her kind of being still a preteen, pretty much. She still wants to have fun, and she still has more love for the units on Planet Crane. And of course, let's not forget that the 2 effect heal triggers, one, Uania, and the other one is Eufha. So, let's see if we can move this up here towards the camera. So those are the heal triggers that I selected. Not that you're all shocked. So then we got 2 copies of Riley for the draws, because we still want that draw effect, a little bit of draw, but also... Oh, what the hell? Okay, there we go. And then also the 10,000 shield doesn't hurt either, sorry. And then the next card we do have is 3 copies of Connected Rampage Clenn. Again, this has the cute little teenage girl with her demonic teddy bears and her stuff. So this deck for me is similar to that of, to any kid who has, the idea of having fun, like a Pale Moon theme to it, but with a little bit of mischief in it. So you got the heal trigger that is so cute and fluffy and so adorable, and then you got the critical trigger that screams out, "Nah, I think you're cute, but I just want to kill you at the same time." With a happy smile, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Because you're not going to get this from Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'll tell you that right now. Alright. For the next final critical trigger, we're playing, of course, 4 copies of Steam Deviant Dragon. This is for extra soul ability. 2 front triggers, which is Diabolos Girls Natalia, because we still want that 20k shield value right there. And then we also have my favorite choice of over trigger for Dark State is Terrifying Wicked Dragon King Vamfrieze. Just because I think it's a really adorable card. Now, you guys can say all you want that Galgahel is the awesome or better looking kind of over trigger, but I find this very cute. And I guess I just like the name Terror King. So, you know, it is what it is. You can say about what you want, but I do like how it's been worded. So that is my chosen, of course, trigger lineup, because why the hell not? And of course, if you're all wondering what color I did choose for the sleeves, I chose the color Blood Red. Like, this whole thing is like screams out blood. Because let's face it, this is kind of weird. You got pink right here, which is a symbol of Q, you know, feminine and girly, and you got blood color, blood red. So, depending on what kind of color sleeve you want, and since I can't really afford the uniformer sleeves right now, I have to use what I can in my disposal. So, there's no shame in that. Okay. So now for the grade 1 lineup, and I believe we are using 15 grade 1s in this deck. So for the first one we're doing 4 copies of Piercing Flash, Evil Spearman, Halgenti. And this is for the Evil Eye deck. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a Vanguard with Evil Eye in its card name, this unit gets 10,000 power in a turn. So don't let the 5k thing fool you for a slight, because yes, it is a 5k booster, a 5k attacker, but when it is placed on the field, you can either boost it or attack with it, and it still becomes a 15k beat stick, pretty much. So if you really want to, you can just go ahead and just kill your opponent with this, if you really want to, or have a bit of a rush moment. The next one we have is 4 copies of Rune Collector. Its skill is, when this unit is placed on rear guard, you may soul charge 1, okay? When this card would be put into soul for the cost of the ability with your Vanguard with Omniagruzio in its card name, you may regard this as putting 2 cards. So, instead of you using your other rear guards for the skill, you can just use one of him, and just once per turn you can just put him into soul, and it counts as 2. So this card is perfect for Omniagruzio Mask, because it does require you to put 2 rear guards into soul in order to stand it and give it drive -1. But let's get to that later on. So we got 3 copies of Gungnram just for the soul charge ability, pretty much, and then of course we have the complete guard, 3 complete guards, which is Repelled, Malice, Dragon, and 1 Elementaria Sanctitude, because Elementaria is now the official staple for any deck possible, if you can get your hands on it. If not, a full complete guard shall do. So that's my grade 1s. Grade 2s. I'm only playing 4 grade 2s in this deck, so I think that's kind of funny. So I'm only playing 4 copies of Misery Winged Dragon. During this turn, this unit gets 5,000 power for each type of trigger icon in your bind zone. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if there are 2 or more types of triggers icons in your bind zone, Soul Blast 2 and draw a card. So that's all you kind of need for this deck, because there we go. So yeah, I think you only need right now is 4 Misery Wings. That's all you can probably use it for, unless there's going to get more support in the set 13 collection, which I am hoping to get soon, hopefully this Friday or so, and then this deck will be more upgraded to that version there, along with Almagestar, Orphis Mask, Leonorn, Youthberg, all that jazz, pretty much so, because I do have a lot of decks that I really need to start updating, and I mean a lot, so I'm getting way behind, but I'm trying to catch up. So yeah, anyways, that is it for grade 2s. For grade 3, this is easy peasy, standard procedure, all that stuff. So, of course, we are still using 3 more copies of Omniagruzio for personification ability, Persona Ride, and then we have 4 copies of Evil Eye, Dragon Emperor, Omniagruzio masks. Now, you guys can say this is a bit much, but let's face it, we're using 4 Mask of Hydrograms in the deck. Let's just fucking go with it, okay? So, this card can only be written from a grade 3 card with Omniagruzio in its card name. Okay. Active skills of 1 turn. Remove a card with Omniagruzio in a different card name from this unit from hand, soul, or drop. Choose up to 1 trigger unit from your drop. Bind it. This unit gets continuous skill. All of your opponent's cards with the same trigger icon as any card in your bind zone gets minus 5,000 shield, and your opponent cannot increase power with those trigger icons or trigger effects until the end of turn. Auto skill is a 1 turn as well. At the end of battle, this unit attack, counterblast 1, and put 2 back row rear guards into soul. Stand this unit and gets drive minus 1 until the end of turn. So, it gets a 3rd attack that turn, and you technically get a triple drive. So, you get the first 2 drive checks, and you get the third one as a, I would call courtesy, but that's just me right there. Now, to finally say this face off, we are using 4 full copies of the Mask of Hydrogram. People hate this card because the mask unit are not that good, unless it's Draw Jewel Mask, Leonore Mask, or this way Mask. I believe that any mask unit can use this, and they're all pretty damn good. Just depends on what you use. And of course, if you guys don't have a clue, this has been a reprint in set 12, so I was able to get more copies, like 6 more copies of Mask of Hydrogram. And the sad thing is, I had 2 original set 10 collection ones, set 10 ones, but mine went missing. Otherwise, I accidentally probably threw it away. So, you know what? That's on me. Boo-hoo. But it happens. So, you know, when you're stressed out from life, sometimes shit happens. So, I'm not mad about it because I gained more. I lost 1, but I gained 6 more. So, I think that's okay. Fit the bill. And that is it for the deck profile video of Evil Eye Dragon Omniagruzio. And that's all it for the video, you guys. If you guys like the content I do create on this channel, please subscribe to the channel, comment down below, thumbs up, and show some love for the channel. And stay tuned for part 2 of deck profile. The other deck profile after this. And I'll catch you guys next video. As always, I'm your host, Iron Frost. Signing out.